Today's video is on how to divide a two-digit divisor. So we're going to start off the problem. 560 divided by 18. Keep in mind that we're going to still follow the steps that we always do, and we do escape. So right here is where I am on my dividing. I need to do my estimate first. So as a refresher, to do an estimate, we are going to, step one, round the divisor because it's a two-digit divisor. Otherwise, if it was single digit, we'd leave it the same, to the nearest 10, which would be 20. Okay, and then I'm going to list the multiples of 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And I'm not going to go any further because I noticed here that this is a 5, and I can use either 4 or 6. I'm going to use 6. So my new problem for my estimate is going to be 6. And I need 2 zeros because it's a 3-digit dividend here, divided by my new rounded divisor. And then don't forget, we fruit ninja, do 6 divided by 2, which is 3, and bring any zeros left over. So a good estimate for this problem, estimate, is 30. Okay, now that we've done our estimate of 30, we are actually going to use that for the first way that you could solve this problem. And we're going on to the S part of this, which is right here where we solve. And I'm going to show several different ways that you can do this. I'm going to show standard algorithm, the partial quotients, the area model, and the array. For our first strategy, which is the standard algorithm, we are going to put the dividends inside. So we're going to go like this. Well, not quite like that. Let me erase the inside there. Okay, let's start over. It's going to be 560 divided by 18 goes on the outside. Now the good news is that we already have our estimate over here. So that's going to really be a good place for us to start. So I'm going to actually do 18 times 3. This is, and I get the 3 from the 3 in the estimate there. So this is me 24, carry 2, this is 54. That's pretty darn close. I think I'm going to go ahead and use that. So 3 goes up here. 3 times 18 is 54. We just figured that out. We now subtract. I get 2. And I'm going to bring down 0 because I still have numbers over here. I'm going to look to see how many times 18 goes in 20. Well, that'd be 1 time. So that's going to be 18 here minus a remainder of 2, which I would write as 2/18. Okay? Notice that I put all my work off to the side so that it didn't mess up my standard algorithm right there. Okay? Alright, so now partial quotients. Okay, so this strategy is called partial quotients, and I draw it like this. I put the dividend inside here. I put 18 on the outside, and this is where we use our brain box, and we come up with some really easy multiplication facts that we can use for our partial quotients. So I'm going to use 18 times 1. I'm going to use 18 times 10, which is 180. I might even do 18 times 2 because I know that's going to be 36. All right, so let's get started. I notice here I can do this one right here. So I'm going to do 18 times 10. Let me do it in a different color. So that's going to be 10 over here. That equals 180. I'm going to subtract. And when I do, I get this. And I get 380. I'm going to subtract 180 again. When I do, I get 0, 0, and a 2. I'm going to do 180 again. And I get 20, and now I can do 18 times 1, which is 18, 2 remaining here, and don't forget that we add up this side to get our quotient answer, which is 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 1, which is 31. So if I wanted to write the answer out for the partial quotients, it'd be 31 and 2 over 18. Now I will show you what it looks like if you were to try to draw an array. Remember that we have our divisor, so we're going to set up our first box is going to be like this, and we have to make it 18. So that's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And because this is 30, I know that at least going to have 3 more boxes here as my start, with the corresponding lines going down. And I'm going to stop and add all those up just to see where we're at. So remember that they all have to line up. So there's going to be 8 of these going down here, 8 of these going down here. And it should all line up because we're trying to make a rectangular array using these numbers. So I do know that this, for as a matter of fact, is 18. And that comes from our divisor over here. And it has to add up to 560. So let's check where we are so far. The first 3 boxes right there add up to 300. If I count up all of the 10s, I have 24, so that's 240. If I add that up, I get 0, 4, I'm at 540, I need to be at 560. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add just a single one down this way, the little ones going this way. Okay, when I add all that up, it's going to be 18, so I'm going to add my 18 here. And now I'm at 558, and I need to get to 560, so I'm going to have 2 little remainders that don't go in my picture. And that's how you would do the array. And look here, in order to get your answer, just simply 10 across here, 10, 10 plus 1, is 31, with the 2 on the outside over here, over 18. All right. The final strategy is the area model, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my first box. I know there has to be 18 down on the side, so I'm going to make a 10. I'm going to do an 8, and I'm going to make this 10 by 10s. So this area here is 100, and 8 times 10, this area here is 80. So I'm just going to keep adding on boxes. This is going to be another 10, so a 10 by 10 is 100, and a 10 by 8 is 80. I'm going to keep going. Okay, so here's 100, another 10 by 10 box, and another 80. So now at this point I'm at 3 100s and 3 80s. So it's starting to look familiar is the other problem, isn't it? 4, 540. So now I need to just add a little bit more. So I'm going to add a 1 here, 1, and a 1 here. And so this right here, which is hard to see, is going to be equal to 10. And this little box here is going to be 8. So that's where we get our 18. And then we're going to have 2 little leftovers outside because it has to be 560. Oops, that's not 560. That is 558. 558. So here's the area model showing if you add the top numbers here, this would give you 31. Here's your 2 remainders, 2 over 18. Okay, so now, depending on this, it doesn't really matter what strategy you used. We have our estimate at 30. Our answer, no matter what strategy, came out to 31 and 2/18. So now this is where we finally are on the check. Remember, you take your answer and multiply it times the divisor. So I'm going to take 31, don't worry about the remainder yet, times 18. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 4 is 24. Moving on to the 10 over here. 10 times 1 is 1. 10 times 3 is 3. We're going to add this up. We're going to get 8, 5, 5. Now it doesn't add up to our original number, but don't forget we had a remainder. So add that remainder in, and you're going to get 10, carry 1, 6, 560. So we were able to do the escape. Remember, you estimate, you solve any strategy I showed you for, and you check. Good luck.